So in this video lecture, I am explaining about the different ways of designing an operating system. We have to design an operating system has a number of functionalities, very complex type of functions, or the entire system working is handled by the operating system. So we have to carefully design our operating system in order to make the system working with a high efficiency. Okay, so we will discuss the different design structures of the operating system. Let me explain. The first operating system structure design is symbol structure. Symbol structure is actually in the beginning phase of our computer. We are designing operating system like this symbol structure. The example for this design of operating system is MS-DOS structure. In the MS-DOS structure, we are designing is that on the top of hardware, we have a ROM BIOS device drivers, then basic input output system device drivers, then we have MS-DOS device drivers. On the top of that, there is a system program, and on the top of that, the application program is working. Visually, it is showing like a layered structure, but is not actually a layered design. And we can say that it is not a well-defined structure in the sense that the application program in the top can directly access the hardware. The system program also can directly access the hardware. The MS-DOS device drivers can directly access the hardware. So this has the disadvantage as that when any of the if application programs can make the system into crash by coding as they are directly accessing the hardware resources. So this design is not very appropriate, but it is the initial design of an operating system. Okay, so in the initial design we see that a symbol structure. For small system it is okay, but we can say that its interfaces and level of functionalities are not well separated. Okay, and so it is not popular because if a programmer mistakenly made some codes in the hardware routines, that will be the end of the system. So next we have another design structure that is monolithic structure. Monolithic structure in the sense that that all the functionalities and operating system is come into a single mode called kernel mode. That is all the operating system, that is process communication, memory management, device drivers, scheduling of the process, file system management, dispatching, all these functionalities are into a single point of view. Okay, so in the hardware, on the top of hardware, we are concentrating all the operating system functionalities in a single layer, and on the top of that we have an application program. Okay, the problem with this is that too many functionalities are packed in one level, and we call it as a kernel level. If too many functions are packed in one level, this makes its implementation and maintenance very difficult. Moreover, if you want to debug a certain issue on one of the routines, then we have to touch this entire functionality. That is the disadvantage of this type of design. So, in the entire operating system works in the kernel space in the case of monolithic system. So, it will increase the size of the kernel, that is the size of the operating system. Okay. Moreover, we can explain about what are the advantages. Advantages is that it is very fast as all the functionalities are implemented in the same address space. Okay, and moreover, a process can run only on this single address space. So the process will normally run faster. And in this kernel is saved actually as a static single binary file. The disadvantage of this monolithic kernel is that if any of the service fails in the monolithic kernel, then it leads to the failure of the entire system. Moreover, to add in new services, the entire operating system needs to be modified. That is, every functions are incorporated in a single part. So, in order to add the service, we have to correct each and everything. That is the disadvantage of this monolithic kernel design or monolithic type of operating system design. Okay, next we will go to another operating system design. We call it as a layered operating system. Layered operating system is actually a type of operating system services where these operating system functionalities are divided into or split into different layers. And each layer has a defined task or a defined function of an operating system. Okay, actually this was created to improve the functions of this monolithic and the simple structure. Monolithic structure is the earlier Unix system follow the monolithic structure. So the layered operating system come in order to meet the disadvantages of this monolithic and the simple design of operating system. The Windows NT operating system is an example of this type of layered design system. We already said that in this system the operating system functionality is divided into a number of layers and each layer has some specific functions like this. That is the innermost layer is the hardware. On the top of the hardware we are adding the functionalities of operating system layer by layer, one by one, and in the outermost layer we can say the user interface. And the rule for designing this type of operating system is that the innermost layer is the hardware and the outermost layer is the user interface layer. In between this layer, we have a number of operating system functionalities, and each layer can access the functionalities provided by the below layer, or we can say that each layer will provide services to the layer above. For example, if a user wants to interact with the hardware, your request will be traveled from the top layer one by one to the bottom layer. Okay, so each the risk is that we have to carefully design and implement each layers or each functionalities. So we will discuss about the advantage of this design. The first one is modularity. Modularity means that we are designing or we make the functionalities layer by layer. This has the advantage that it is easier to debug. Suppose there is an error in a particular functionality, then we will look only to that layer or to debug that layer, which is very different from the monolithic design where we have to touch with every functionalities. Then we can easily update by adding some layers, easier update. Moreover, we have no direct access to the hardware, so the hardware is very much protected. Okay, the hardware is actually innermost layer in this design, and there is an abstraction in the case of this design. Abstraction in the sense that each layer is concerned, or each layer is thinking about its own functions, and it also provide and it did not bothers about the functionalities in the bottommost layer. So the functions and the implementations of each layer are abstracted from the other layers. The disadvantage is that as the layer can access the services of the layer below it, so the arrangement or the implementation of the functionalities in each layer must be very carefully. For example, if a backing storage layer uses the services of a memory management layer, so we must kept the backing storage must be kept below the memory management layer. So this modularity means very complex and careful implementation is very needed. Moreover, slower execution. For example, if a top layer needs services from the bottom layer, we have to pass through number of layers. That request has to pass through the number of layers. Normally, its response time will be taking much time compared to monolithic design. Okay. Next we will go to another design of operating system, that is microkernel design. Microkernel design means the most or the core important functions are implemented in the separate part. The most important functions are inside the kernel and the rest of the OS services are present inside the system application programs. So users are able to interact with those not so important services within the system application program. So microkernel has mainly three main functionalities are implemented in the microkernel part. One is process communication, memory management and CPU scheduling. These three main core important functions of the operating system is in the kernel part. So the kernel part is that is the operating system functionality is limited to some particular microkernel part. We call it as a microkernel. Not all functions are implemented in this microkernel part. So, the user services, in a microkernel there is a user services and kernel services in different address spaces. The user services are kept in user address space and kernel services are in kernel address spaces. Thus, it reduces the size of kernel and thus the operating system. This is the schematic diagram of this kernel level operating system. Hardware, this is the microkernel part. In the microkernel part, basic interprocess, virtual memory and scheduling function of the operating system. Other operating system functions are in this part, that is file management, device driver, etc. The advantage of this is the architecture is very small, isolated, hence it can function better. Expansion of the system is also easier because we are simply adding a functionality to the system application without disturbing the kernel. Next, we will go to the comparison between the microkernel and monolithic kernel. That university will ask questions like this, the comparison between the microkernel and monolithic kernel. About the kernel size. In the case of monolithic kernel, it is very large because all functionalities are kept in one kernel. Here, we have a separate microkernel, user address space and a system address space. So, the kernel functionality or microkernel has only main three functionalities of the operating system. So, the kernel program size is very small. Microkernel size is slow compared to monolithic. Why? Because monolithic kernel has all the functionalities at the same address space. But in microkernel, the functionalities are separated into address space. So, comparatively, compared to monolithic kernel, it is slow. Microkernel is extensible, which is very easy. But in the case of monolithic kernel, it is very hard. I already explained that. Moreover, microkernel, if a service crashes, it does not working on the microkernel. But in the case of monolithic kernel, if any of the service crashes, the whole system crashes. Moreover, writing or updating a microkernel code, more code is needed. But in monolithic kernel, to write a monolithic kernel, less kernel code is needed. These are some examples of these types of services. Okay, thank you.